In general, politicians love to tell us that they're going to crack down on crime. Everyone wants to position themselves as being against crime. But you know what? If Law and Order was realistic, nearly every episode would include the bantery cop characters acknowledging that the horrible crime ripped straight from the headline probably would have never happened if everyone involved was sober. Before I keep going, if you think I'm arguing for prohibition, I'm not. I know a defense lawyer, and you would not believe how many crimes start because someone was drinking and they kept drinking, and then things turned violent. I've read so many articles talking about all the things that can be done to keep women safe on college campuses from, the thing. But you know what none of them talk about? Alcohol is almost always a factor. DV? Alcohol. People brawling and assuming they survive ending up with life-altering injuries? Alcohol. And you know the worst part? A lot of the biggest repeat offenders that cops love complaining about? Fetal alcohol syndrome. Now, other common contributing factors you could argue include breathing and being carbon-based. Sure, one of the reasons nobody does much to bring about new legislation around consumption is that our politicians are old and dumb and can barely turn on their laptops. Another reason is that as a society, we're kind of conditioned to think of drinking as something fun. Everybody buys into the notion that drinking helps them loosen up and become more interesting at parties. For the record, it doesn't. The drunker you get, the less you understand my jokes. Please stop putting your hand on my shoulder, Cindy. I know you keep saying that you're a touchy drunk, but I don't care. So what could be done other than barring alcohol sales completely, pissing off everyone, and driving booze sales underground? Well, first things would be to legalize psilocybin, because it allows people to loosen up and actually be a bit more interesting, but in my experience, generally doesn't come with that sense of invincibility that results in people driving while under the influence. Add to that, while alcohol is universally bad for brains and bodies, psilocybin has been proven repeatedly to help the kinds of trauma that result in people needing to use substances to retreat from reality. It's impractical to overdose on, and I've never heard of anyone having a trip so intense that they pissed all over my bathroom floor. Next would be to simply tie people's alcohol purchases to their driver's license. Each time a drink is sold, the driver's license is scanned. If someone is drinking enough that they might be having a problem, have social services check in. If they have kids, make sure the kids are okay before they end up on the news. Educate the person on programs that are available for people who are struggling with addictions. If the person is a woman, help make sure that they're aware of birth control methods that can prevent them from having a child that would be affected by FAS. Beyond that, improve education in grade school. Make sure that starting in grade 10, kids learn about the side effects of things like smoking and alcohol. Make sure that they learn how drugs affect a developing fetus and how incredibly cruel it is to contribute to the creation of a life that will never have the opportunity to have a brain that functions as well as their brains do. Heck, beyond that, in cases where it's clear that people are going to have a significant struggle with addictions for the rest of their life, offer financial incentives to ensure that that person doesn't accidentally create a child that they're unlikely to be able to care for. Both because, let's be honest, addiction is generally not a trait that anyone attributes to good parents,